Hi all, I wanted to take you through an example I had last week of a client who had really complex data and it wasn't really obvious how to fit it into ClickUp. So this should demonstrate some of the thinking that I go through in the setups that I do for my clients. So this was in the real estate industry. So we had a property, or for example, say 123 Green Street. That property then had a bunch of contacts. So we had a buyer, a seller, a real estate agent, and an escrow officer. And of course they had names, emails, phone, and a bunch of other stuff that I didn't put on here. The property then had a whole bunch of details. So for the listing, the start date, the prices involved, the terms, the various dates that things needed to happen, and then the kind of details about the house itself. Then there were multiple lists of tasks that needed to get done at different stages of the listing. And so as you can see here, this is all a bit too much to kind of fit into a really obvious layout in ClickUp. We could have, say, all the tasks in various lists. That's great. But then what do we do with the contacts? Do we put them as tasks as well? And then we have to kind of constantly filter out contacts in our various views. The details, we don't really want them as tasks because then we have to scroll through every single task to try and get all the information. That'd be much better off as custom fields, which is probably fine. But then we need to see all the properties together. This is only one property. There might be, say, 20 of these, all with this amount of information. So we want to see all the properties together with all the custom fields, but without all the rest of this kind of stuff messing it up. But then we want to see the tasks for one particular property at once and make that all work. Okay, so we did actually make that work, and this is how we did it. So as you can see here, this is the ClickUp space that I've got set up for it. You can see we've got the property as a folder. We could go back and forth here as list and folder, but I prefer having it as the folder because then we could have each of these as lists. So we've got our 3 task lists here, each with the tasks or some random tasks in them. We've also got the property as a list with the property in it. Now the reason for that is we wanted the property to be a task as well as either the list or the folder, because that way we can filter on it. Possibly in the future, ClickUp will introduce pulling in whole lists or whole folders in a filter. Right now it's just tasks. And on this task, we can see we've got all of our custom fields for all the different details we had. We also have a type that is property. So what I can do is I can go filter, type is not property. Okay, and then I'd save that. And I can just use my regular task view and go through all my tasks. But because that property is there, if I go to my space level, and this will be across all the properties, so maybe this is one of kind of 10 or 20, they would all appear here. Now this filter is the opposite. This one is type is property. So only those property tasks would show up here. And you can see I've got all the custom fields for each of them. So if we had 20 here, I'd be able to go through and look at all the properties I have and the details of them, all in one view. In this other view, I've just got my tasks, and I can go through there. Now the question is, where are the contact details? So we have details and tasks taken care of. Contact details we could add as a list, and we could use this similar kind of filtering with type to get rid of them or put them in where we want them. But in the end of the day, we don't actually need to interact with the contact items. We don't need to change them, they're just there for reference. And because of that, I believe the best way to deal with them, and the way that we chose to, was to use it as a doc. So we put here, and we have contacts, and we also kind of included notes. You know, each real estate deal has some other things going on, maybe access to the property or whatever kind of notes you need. But we'd make a page with the contact details, and we'd paste them in here like this. Now you could format it in different ways, but basically the idea is that we're working in our tasks, we need to contact someone, we can quickly just jump over and grab their contact details. And that is how we solve this problem for getting all of our information into ClickUp. If you'd like some help figuring out the perfect layout for your ClickUp, I've got my consulting link below. You can get a free 30-minute call with me to kind of discuss what we could do and how we can help you out. If you're a real estate agent who's not using ClickUp yet and you've suddenly realized that it could fit all of your needs, I've also got a link below for a free trial to ClickUp that you can try out. It's the only software that I consult on now because I think it's fantastic, and it can do pretty much whatever you want. We can make it work. Awesome. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit subscribe below, chuck it a like, and I'll see you next time.